Hi guys, welcome back. So do England have a potential vulnerability, a problem, when we come to compare the backlines between them and Scotland in their opening Six Nations match away in Scotland? I'm going to talk about this. Now, before I do, if you haven't got involved in the Fantasy Six Nations, please do. The links are in the description below. When I opened it in the last video, the first league of 100 filled up super quick. So I quickly opened two more, so there's 3 leagues, although I'm treating it as a whole league. Look at the last video to get details on that. Do get involved, it should be really good fun, but you do need to enter before the actual Six Nations kicks off. But it's free to enter, good fun, and the winner of the overall thing, I will be giving away a training shirt too, so get involved. So let's talk about this potential issue in England's backline. Well, first of all, let's talk about Scotland's backline. I mean, it's incredibly settled. Price, Russell, Harris in the centre, Hogg at fullback, Van der Merwe at least on one wing. So that's 5 guys nailed on to start, play together loads in their absolute prime physically, experience-wise. British and Irish Lions, what's not to like? Okay, sure, they didn't play the best in the autumn, but with that sort of experience playing together, that sort of ability, they're going to be good. England, like I said, they've got the talent, but they've got a problem. They need to select a team. That's been thrown, another spanner in the works, with Marchant now isolating, who may be back in time for the game, but would have missed a stack of good training. Now, him not being available potentially has seen 2 new wingers come in, Radwan and Liner, which kind of lines up with my idea of him probably starting on the wing in this game, which he still may do, but we will see if England think he has enough training when he comes back in. May, Farrell, Tuolangi, Watson, we know they're all out. That's a lot of experience, so it's going to be a new look backline. And however they do it, it's going to be unsettled. As much talent as England could put in this backline, they won't have played a lot together, and some of them won't have played hardly any, if any, international rugby. I mean, straight away at scrum half, it looks like Ben Youngs has to start, even though he probably isn't the form 9. No, Randall, Quirk look to be playing better than he is. Mitchell, who's not even the squad, looks to be playing really well. So in some ways, you're forced into playing your 9, who's probably not in the best form, a bit later in his career. Or do you roll the dice and then start Randall, for example? I mean, it's a massive call, but surely they're going to bring in Youngses, over 100 caps of experience, even though maybe their scrum half's playing better. Fly half looks, really well stacked, but Smith's only got 5 caps. He's inexperienced. As good as he is, if he starts, he's going to be inexperienced. He won't have faced this sort of thing before. They could chuck Ford straight back in there with his 77 caps, but, he's no Smith. He can't run and he can't create with his sidestep that like Smith can, although maybe they think they need that experience. So that's another big call to take. I mean, on the positive side, Smith and Ford do play quite similar, certainly in attack. So, they should be fairly interchangeable, but you want to start Smith because he is, out and out probably your best 10 in England. Then with the centres, you've got no Tuolangi, you've got no Farrell, both guys who could play 12, even though strictly I don't think neither are a 12. And you've only really picked 1 12 in the squad in Atkinson. You could put Slade there, but he'd be out of position. I was surprised they didn't pick Kelly as an out-and-out young 12. So it really looks like you can only really play Atkinson there if you want a balanced 12 who has played a lot of 12, even though Atkinson hardly has played for England at all. I think it's 1 cap for him. 13, yes, there's decent options, but with Marchant isolating and looking like he would have played on the wing anyway, it looks like Slade at 13, unless you go for someone really inexperienced like Northmore. So that's another big call, but surely you have to play Slade in there for his experience. Plus he's playing well, to be fair. Full-back, everyone goes, well, it's easy. It's Freddie Stewart. He has to play full-back, and he does, but he's only got 5 caps. He hasn't faced this sort of thing before either. You could put Malins in there, but, he hasn't got that many caps either. 10 caps, not a lot. So, whatever way you call it, England is going to be inexperienced. And the wings, well, that's just a toss-up in the air. You could play Daly, you could play Noel for their experience, but Daly's only just come back. Is he at his best? I don't think so. Noel's getting back to his best, but is he there yet? Hasn't played international for ages. Or you go for one of the youngsters. A Hassel Collins is big and fast, like Liner is. You go for out-and-out speed like Radwan, but any of those 3 have hardly got any experience as well. Do you put Malins on the wing? Yeah, maybe, but either way, it's going to be super inexperienced. If you want to get some balance, it looks like you have to play Atkinson at 12, but like I said, he's got one cap. Is he the answer? He's into his 30s. You'd ideally want a big wing, but any of the big wings really don't have experience. Like I said, Noel isn't particularly a big wing. He's not massively quick. He's very jinky, so it's a hard call. So I want to know which way you would do it. What is the best bet for England's backline? And, well, I think it's a real vulnerability. It could go great. It could go horribly wrong. It makes it exciting, and I'm looking forward to watching it. But as an England fan, definitely a bit nervous. So how would you call that? How would you minimise the disruption? Or would you just say, whatever, let's just go for it, get the best youngsters out there and let them learn by their mistakes, even if that means losing? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. If you haven't joined the fantasy leagues already, click in the links below and get that going before the games start, and I will catch you next time.